Peace, peace, peace. What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Out and about, getting these steps in. Yeah, ready to talk some stuff. Pretty nice out here. It's not as cold. It's funny. Not as cold tonight as it was last night. Last night was just it was cold. I don't know. It was chilly last night. You know, a good friend of mine, Rahim Allah, rest in peace. Salim, he passed away. So his balloon ceremony was last night. And it was a nice, people, everybody came. But it was cold. It was just cold last night. Tonight's not as cold. But um, yeah, I'm just trying to get my steps. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little bit extra tonight. I usually do an hour. I don't know. I do miscellaneous times and distances, but I've been doing an hour uh every day this week. I think I'm gonna do just a little more, even if it's 10, 15 minutes more. I'm gonna do a little more, But you know what I mean. I'm gonna do a little bit more than an hour today. But other than that, same stuff, different day. Feeling good, maintaining my health. I do feel urged to talk about a couple things. So I knew I was going to end up, you know, yeah, welcome in. Hit that like button for me too. I appreciate it. So I knew I was either going to go live and speak about it, either while I was walking or when I got back in the crib. You know. But it's really, just want to speak about some of the same things that I've been speaking on for some years now. About advising myself and anybody who want to listen to restructure. You're going to have to restructure your your belief systems, your thought processes on a lot of different things in order for you to keep up. Because there are big changes going on in the world, and most really the average people don't really know what's going on. And this is why I say they, because it ain't me, put so much energy into things that don't mean anything. Like whether it be like political stuff, dealing with elections and just all that kind of stuff. That stuff don't mean nothing. It don't help. That stuff don't help the people at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It don't. So I mean, it's really a waste of time, waste of energy. You know what I mean? But these things are controlled and maintained through a lot of different things. You have club memberships, you have religious affiliations that keep the people in check. Because a lot of times, we out here, we talk like, yeah, they use religion to control people. Yeah, they do, and they control them in a lot of different ways. Even the club memberships. A lot of the club memberships are the reasons why people have certain government jobs. Like what we know is city and state jobs and all that kind of stuff. You know, parking and all that stuff come from, uh, let's say, club memberships, religious affiliations, or somebody that's in it. And these are the systems behind government that help keep the people down. And they use a lot of a lot of things that people don't like. That people believe in the mysticism and the, let's say, I don't know the word, like imagine that if you believe in if you believe in the unseen God, you believe in unseen angels, right? And but then somebody might come to you with something else that's just it's just as mystical, it's just as hidden and unseen, and but you say you don't believe in it. But the bottom line is this is how they use these things. We take part in these things. It's like when you cast your ballot. When you cast your ballot and you cast your vote, okay, you casting a spell. You helping them cast whatever spell they trying to put over on the people, dealing with whatever they trying to create during their next 3 or 4 years in the position that they running for, and using words, uh, a combination of many people investing their energy into it, and it manifests. So, but people don't understand. Still to this day, people don't know that they're doing rituals. They constantly doing rituals unknowingly, participating in these rituals, and these rituals are not helping them. Now, I'm not saying all rituals are bad, because they're not. All rituals aren't bad. But guess what? I'm gonna keep it real elementary for the people. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Making prayer 5 times a day, are rituals. So you got 5 times a day as a Muslim. I and whoever else is and has been a Muslim or whatever know that we perform 5 prayers a day ritualistically. So it's a lot of benefits in performing these rituals 5 times a day. So I'm just bringing that up just to kind of make a dry joke, but at the same time make a point. You know, everything is about ritual in the society. It is. You better wake up. Well, no, don't wake up. You better become aware of that. But we, I'm not a doomsday messenger. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep, but we're a different. We live in a different reality. Like we just are. And if you don't want to be one of the ones that's getting taken advantage of, then you're gonna have to put yourself in the know. That's just the bottom line. I mean, if you don't want to know, then stay where you at. But for those who do desire to be in the know and to not be taken advantage of at will, whenever people feel like moving you around like a pawn on a chessboard, then start self-educating. Start paying attention to what people are saying. All of it is not just people tripping and saying stuff. You know what I mean? You know, I experience, everything that I experience in my life, I know is for my own good, whether it's something difficult or whether it's something easy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But one thing certain, I got to take care of myself. And truly, most of the people that you think are your friends and your family members, they don't really care about you. So, you really have to really love and care for yourself, because if not, you'll be out here slipping and people will be taking advantage. Wow. It's my part of town, GM. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. This is my block. Thanks for the likes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for the likes, y'all. Yeah, this is my block where I was born and raised. My father lived on this. Well, we lived on this block, but my mom got married, lived on this block from 1970 to 2010 when my dad passed away. So yeah. Thanks, Miss D. Good to see you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. But you know, you can't. You can't. You really. I'm just saying. You just got to really just be aware. It's sad. Because I experienced something yesterday. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Like when you change your life and you just start doing things differently, people don't accept you. I'm gonna be honest, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. And I really don't even know how to word a couple things, because for real, I really don't want to make it seem like, not that I care. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not gonna lose no sleep, because I already know how people is. You know what I'm saying? But I be sad for people though. I be sad that people still ignorant. I be sad that people still like looking down on people like the religion. Because I got my family is religious. My friend circle is like super religious, like Islam though. A portion of them is Christians and stuff like that, but it's a little bit of the both. And I be feeling sorry for them, that they still on dumb time. It's not even. I'm not trying to insult nobody. I'm just saying that people don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? That they still, like one of my homies the other day. We was having a conversation, and I referenced myself as being a Moor, right? And he gave me the middle finger. This is one of my homies I come up with, right? He gave me the finger the other day for calling myself a Moor, and I thought to myself, I said, "Wow!" I said, "Damn, you give me the finger?" I said, "Damn, but what if I called myself an N-word or colored or Negro or something like that?" You know what I mean? You wouldn't give me the finger. You would clap and laugh and go right along with it. Like, what's wrong with the people is still so much in like an ignorant state that My homie gave me the middle finger for saying I am what I am. This is how much of a backwards reality we live in. And I can just keep talking about what everybody else talking because I've been talking about this stuff for 10 plus years. You know, a lot of people waking up and realizing that they're not Africans. You know what I'm saying? And all that kind of stuff. And I've been there. I've been on that. Like, people just getting down. But I don't want to just be like one of the ones that just, I don't even follow no trends. I'm a declared. My nationality is declared. But the point I'm trying to make is, damn, you know, I'm sitting up here. I say what I say I am. You said, yeah, I progress and rose higher, and you expect others, yeah, to do the same, but everybody not going to. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? But that's like one of the reasons why I left, this reality to go to experience something different because of that. Because, and what I'm saying is, everything gonna work itself out. Meaning, like, the people that's gonna be able to be around after the fact of a lot of things is gonna be people that know who they are. But all of these different realities are in the process of being created. You know, I ain't one of the ones. I'm one of the ones that people gonna be mad at me, and they gonna try to call me everything in the world. I was looking at these people. I said, "Oh, you got all these real religious people acting like they doing something new, and they don't even know they running late. 10 years, 15, 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. The same stuff these people walk with their chest out, wouldn't even think about it. You know what I mean? So I do feel bad. I do feel bad for my family and my friends because when you get to the nitty gritty, I ain't gonna try to talk fast because I'm gonna put things in perspective. Because like I got onto higher knowledge through being emotional and mad about like just how the system was and how they treating the so-called black people and all that, and that took me down a rabbit hole. You understand? So then I started getting to like multiple different things, uh, trying to understand who I really am, which I already knew, but I wasn't listening because my mom always has said that our grandparents, our great grandparents was Seminole and Cherokee people, even though those are not the correct names either. But that that separates you from that African thing. My mom told us, they told us we was Africans in school. So I go down a rabbit hole. So I pick up. Of course, I know about Moors already because I'm a Muslim. I've been a Muslim all my life, so I know who the Moors are. So, but I'm just saying in detail with a lot of context. I'm coming into this now, right? And I'm seeing where the problems that, let's say, so-called so-called black people is having are not racial problems, it's political problems. You realize it, and you realize that, and you start, and you learning, you reading, you listening, you doing whatever you're doing, however you get the information, and you realizing that the problems that the people are having are coming from political statuses being jammed up, and also people signing themselves up to be black, to be African American, to give non-government uh, companies like, let's say, like the DMV. They're not really government, but when you sign these papers, you give them authority over you. But then when you got people, you got Moors, you got other people that's just on like free nationality and sovereignty and all that stuff. All that stuff is real, but they don't teach you that in school because what will happen is you won't be they won't be able to take advantage of you as easily. That's like knowing how to fight. The motherfuckers that know how to fight, people ain't walking up on them trying to take their lunch money because they know these people know how to fight and they're gonna defend themselves. So they're gonna choose somebody that's dumb that don't know the law. But guess what? 99 out of 100 people don't know the law. So, and if one person, two people pop up and start trying to talk some sense into people, guess what? These people gonna be shunned. They're gonna be looking at, she crazy or he crazy or something wrong with them and all of that stuff. And using religion as a weapon, all of that stuff. And there ain't nowhere you really can go to really escape it. And that's another thing. Somebody asked me a question yesterday when I was going around. They said, well, what did you learn? What was the best thing that you learned on your trip? You know, and when I was in Thailand, you know, the best thing is that I learned. I learned firsthand that people is living in a sleep state everywhere. It's not just here. You know, like people think, yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere else and it's gonna be like people ain't gonna be on dumb time. No, the people over there just asleep, following uh following fake stuff. The same as people in the United States. It's just a different culture being practiced by different people. But they still sleep. They sleep. You know what I mean? They in the Buddhist temple as opposed to being in the Christian church or the Muslim masjid. It's the same. It's the same stuff. But it's a lot of things I've been wanting to. That I just know that I just gotta really like talk about because it's all part of it. It's all part of like what we are as people functioning in this reality or functioning in this system. You know, when I mean by the system, okay, I'm gonna call it the matrix, the program, right? Okay, if this reality is a projection, meaning this is really a dream, a projection from the higher self. Okay, well I'm just saying this. Everybody has a purpose in this dream. This gate has a purpose. This tree, it's a tree right here. I don't know if you see it. It's a tree. Right? The tree got a purpose in this program, in this projection. And, you know, the tree got to serve its purpose. I got to serve my purpose. And I know my purpose is to tell the truth. And my purpose is to have enough courage to live right, tell the truth, and also, like, show people that the truth is the truth no matter what you know what I mean? They try to say, because they can trust and believe they run in the same place. You can't get no job. Your family and your friends ain't gonna speak to you the same way. All of that, right? They've been running that shit for years and years and years. And years, like generations, for real, for real. This is why let's people who they consider to be strong, they always try to pull them in the clubs. And it's okay to form a club and a group. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that. But a lot of the people that run these clubs in these groups, they're not necessarily they're not necessarily righteous people. You know what I mean? Because for real, once you acquire a certain amount of knowledge, right? And you know realize, like say for instance, maybe I am a little upset. This is why I'm speaking. But once you acquire a certain amount of knowledge, you realize that for real, most of the people don't even care about themselves enough to read a book or to go out just go outside the box. You know what I mean? So you know what? It, a lot of people that realize the truth, kind of like just to keep it simple, to turn back. And this is where you'll find people that involve themselves in certain groups, whether it be like whatever kind of groups. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Most average people, you know. But guess what? Everything has to be balanced. You know what I mean? You know, the knowledge. When you know things, you gotta just really, you gotta stay balanced. You know what I'm saying? You can't, take advantage of people. You just can't. That's why you see like all this, a lot of stuff trending because, you know, the brother was giving the lecture. The brother I said was giving the lecture, and I was listening to it today, and he was talking about how people running these rituals. But these people are like you got people running rituals and different kind of shit that they learning on, let's say, on the internet, because a lot of information is online, right? And but guess what? If you hand people a certain amount of like knowledge and ability and start, you can know yourself, and once you start knowing yourself, your power is going to increase. For real, for real. Your mind power. But what I'm just saying is, when it all depends, you always going to have a decision to make whether you're going to go right or left with it. And really, the right and wrong thing is deep too. It just is. But guess what? If you don't even have no like knowledge of these things, like you lost out here. If you think you just gonna go in the masjid and pray, and that's gonna like just keep you, no, it's not true. If you think you're gonna just gonna go in the church and praise Jesus, or you're gonna be in the temple and you're gonna be like Buddha be blessed and all that, and that's it, you're wrong. You just said, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to upset nobody. I don't want to upset myself. But guess what? But I did the work. You know what I'm saying? I did the work that was necessary for me to understand and overstand what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be thinking. And for sure, and it was a good thing. Good thing that I'm a rebel without a pause, because my rebellious nature caused me to learn most of the things that in my life, because I didn't want to be led. I didn't want to be taken advantage of. Played like a sucker and things of that nature. So I've always wanted to be my own man, and I am my own man. But what I'm saying is, as a warning to myself and anybody who want to listen, be careful about what you invest your energy, invest your time and your money into. Be careful with it. Invest it into yourself, and there's multiple different people and different things that you can invest in. Okay, if they're talking about something that you can resonate with for a second, you're learning some things, then okay, then learn. But what they saying or what they doing, like what I'm saying and what I'm doing, is not your everything. It's not. It's not. But you can learn a piece, or maybe you can gain some understanding from me, and then you can go maybe to the next person and maybe sit and learn and maybe go back and forth with how you feel and what they saying, and then come to your own personal conclusion. You know what I'm saying? But peace and love is a major thing. If it don't involve peace and love, then it's not gonna be no tranquility. Because through peace and love being like the highest vibration, everybody can get along, no matter what so-called race, way of living, whatever. Everybody can get along as long as it's peace and love. Because you respect people. If you got enough love for the people to respect them, even though you don't agree with them or you don't live like them, we can have the peace and the love and the tranquility. So, and these are high vibrations, and it ain't just easy. You can't just, it ain't something you could just achieve in one day. You got to constantly be working at it. But you have to be aware of certain things. You have to be aware of the harm of being too rigid rather. And what I mean by like being too rigid, meaning like you got people that speak harm on people and say bad things about people just because they have different beliefs. And I used to be like that, meaning just judge people. Oh, they Hindus or whatever. Man, listen, for real, as a mature man living in this world, man, people are supposed to just let people do what they do. Don't worry about what people doing. Just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you doing it in the right way, and you ain't harming yourself and you ain't harming nobody. That's what you should be worrying about doing. That's what you should be worrying about. And if you out here trying to save the world, then you should know a lot of different things. Because mofos will open up a book and start talking about like leaders and generals, Alexander, Genghis Khan, you name it, all these famous people, Julius Caesar. Do you think that these people, Salahuddin, Mansa Musa, do you think that these people did not have an understanding or overstanding of how their societies and how the world and the societies outside of their societies all worked? You know what I'm saying? Like you think that they did, like they just were on one thing, like just what you think the king or the emperor was just worrying about what? No. So you can't even lead. You can't lead people. You can't tell nobody what they should be doing with their life. If you only know one thing, you know what I mean. You only know one thing. Only thing you know is Islam. Only thing you know is Christianity. Only thing you know is like I'm just using because that's what's prevalent here, but it's more, way more. You got all kinds of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got all kinds of different cultures. You know what I'm saying? That's like offshoots. You got 100 different Islams. You got 100 different kinds of Christians. That's 200 different ways of doing it right there. You might have more than that for real. But just to make an example. So I'm just saying you have to be wise and have wisdom and have knowledge in order to manage yourself. Let alone if you out here trying to, you know, manage people and just like trying to tell people what they need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I already know the deal with a lot of. I just know the deal. I've been around. I'm 53 years old. I don't have no. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Certain stuff, like I said, I've said this before. Certain stuff is needed in life. You know, when I was a young guy, I needed, strict structure. You know, and I got that from mainstream religion. You know, but man, somebody my age that's living right, I don't have no problems. I don't have no problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody telling me what to do because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you want the people that's destined to escape is going to escape, and the ones that's not, they not. But at the same time, I be having to speak on stuff. You know what I mean? Because I know that's my purpose, and I want good for myself, and I want good for my people. You know what I mean? And you know, it's an everyday challenge. It's not a fight, but it's a challenge. You know what I mean? The world challenges you to be right, to be upright. It challenges you when you know you have a purpose. It challenges you to figure out a way to operate in the best way. It's a challenge. I don't want to say it's a fight, but it might be. But it's a challenge, you know. And yeah, so many different things. That's why I come out here and I walk, so keep my body. My body is in pretty decent shape. My mind functions well and it's sharp. You know, so that's why I come out and I walk and I go to the gym, things of that nature. It's good for me. And you know, and I understand that the world, everybody's not the same. You know what I mean? Everybody's not the same, so you can't get mad at nobody because they don't agree with you or they don't want to move or jump. When you tell them something. You know what I'm saying? But you know, hey, I really want to sound off, but I don't even really know how to go about it. You know what I'm saying? But if the elementary aspects of certain things, which are really like the first stages, because it's like it's talking to certain groups of people, it's like talking to children, because that's all they know. They only know one thing. You know what I mean? They only know one thing, so it's like speaking to children. But and they haven't even mastered that. But I tell myself and anybody want to listen, try to gain some mastery off of the basic things, and then maybe you'll be able to grow. And some of the people or some of the things that used to be disagree with, you'll come to know that those things are not your enemies, and those things are really some of those things is for you. Some of those people is for you, and sometimes people make changes. The guy or the girl who made an adjustment in their life did it for the right reason. You know. No, no, no. I can't. I'm in the states. No, I'm in the states. I had to come back home for a little while. Yeah, but yeah, I know I'm probably saying like I'm rambling, but I'm not really rambling. I'm just trying to give some advice. You know what I mean? Just try to get some advice. Cause I'm a highly spiritual and dialed in person. You know, I'm really like my connection and everything that I do is for God. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta live in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? I like good food, yeah, and I still like pretty women. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it real. My life is really for God. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need nobody to be with me. I don't need nobody to walk with me because I'm gonna do what I gotta do on my own because that's what I've been doing. But hey, come outside. Everybody should come outside the box though. You know. That's that. Thanks, Miss Lady T. I appreciate that. You know. I advise everybody come outside the box. Start thinking outside the box. You know. I would think. You know. You know, I was just but I already know. Man. I just know. You know what I mean? You know, people still on dumb time. People are still freaking dumb because they still worrying about entertainment. Yeah, come outside the box and see what it's really like. Yeah, in your mind too. You ain't gonna, man. You think people still believe, but you know, but some people need. See, that's another thing. Like I said about being, some people need the affiliations that they have. And I don't want, yeah, they need their religious affiliations. They need to be in these clubs and different. They need that because they just need it. Because you do benefit greatly from the structures of these religious and club disciplines. You just do. But I know, you know, I desire. Well, I don't even desire because I know that's what I am. The people that are truly powerful, the truly powerful ones, is the ones who can function on their own. It's just that simple. And you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, history repeat itself. It's the truth. It's the truth. You know what I mean? And most of the people, most people, they on turkey time. They is, yeah. And they follow behind a few. A few. They follow behind a few. And guess what? Ain't nothing wrong with that because some of these people they need to be following somebody. But like I was saying earlier, make sure you follow behind the right people because if you're not, you could be following behind some people that coaxing you and tricking you into doing things that are harmful. So I mean, reading between the lines, do your due diligence. You know what I mean? And always try to operate from a noble perspective, a high perspective, and and you probably be all right. You know, because a lot of things, you know, because like a lot of times, a lot of people, a lot of friends and family members always try to warn me, and they say, "Man, you better be careful what you're saying. You know, you better be careful about." You know, they always tell me to be careful about what I'm talking about. But see, that comes from the programming. You know what I mean? The programming of religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you better watch what you saying. And I'll be like, watching y'all be on the internet, y'all be on the internet posting pictures and all doing all kind of stuff, dancing and jamming and singing and all that. I'm talking about stuff that's not from the religion, right? And you don't see them going against that, right? When a person sit up here and tell me and watch what I'm saying, because I tell people you got to watch out for these religious people. You got to watch out for these super club members. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them is the worst ones. They worst more free than one. I ain't saying nothing wrong. It's the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm for the people. So I ain't saying nothing to put nothing on. Well, all the people have the same problems. All the people are the same people here. And all the people got to find their way free of certain kind of things because this is why And still in this day and time, people still black, and it ain't no land of black. Niggas still African American, even though it ain't no place in this fucking planet with Africa American. All that shit is super dumb. Once you realize it, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I mean? But guess what? That's the way the system is made. I mean, the program is made like that. The program is made like that for people. When people get super conscious, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just call it that because I know people understand it. When people get super conscious and they become aware and all that shit, and guess what? Oh, I don't want. I'm just using an example. I don't want to smoke no more like that. Or I don't want to drink. Or I'm staying away from all the loose sex stuff and all that. I'm gonna stay away from that. You know what happens is you start becoming weird. You know what I'm saying? You start becoming weird in your society, in your world, right? And you start shunning things, and things start shunning you. So the program tests you. You know what I'm saying? So the program tests you, right? No, I'm like, that's funny. There's a lot of light right here. I like this. This is a real good spot. And the program in the system, it starts testing you. It starts throwing you tests. With really truthfully, the test of being by yourself. That's why solitude. It's the whole spirituality thing. People have to experience these times where it's just them, and it ain't nobody. You ain't got no friends and all that, right? That's something you got to go through. And then, and along with the solitude comes, you may experience some fear. You know what I mean? They made it where so you can't make no money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to help you. You out on your motherfucking own. So guess what? You experience fear. So the system want to see. Let me see how she gonna deal with fear. Let me see how he gonna deal with the fear. Let me see if they gonna go back, revert back because they scared that they might go hungry or don't have nowhere to go or whatever. Right? All these are things that you experience. But you know what I'm saying is you got people who might say try to tell you what you need to be doing with yourself, but they haven't been through that, or they haven't worked that out in their own life. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot. It's a lot of work. So a lot of people don't even know they're not even worthy to be telling somebody like me what I should do and what I shouldn't be doing because I already got mastery over the shit that they talking about. I already been there I've been where you ain't been for real, for real. But I'm just saying these. Hopefully somebody listening they can understand that this is what you're going to experience. This is what you're going to experience. And maybe I am upset. That's why I'm talking. I ain't really upset, but I'm just saying one of my kids going to tell me today about helping one of my family members that really like I ain't spoke to in a lot of years, right? And I already know they on the opposite side, right? But then what I'm just saying, people always try to put you in a category because you don't want to fuck with people that don't fuck with you, or try to make you out to be crazy because you calmly just don't mess with people, and that's okay, right? Because they don't mess with me. But at the same time, I be like, hold up, I really, I outlived a couple tests. For real, I should have died. They know what was going on with me. I should be gone. But the thing is, and I laugh about it, I myself personally, I outlived a couple tests. So some of the people that should have really came to my rescue when I was doing super bad, they don't have no answer. They don't have no explanation. And these are like my closet haters and my friends and my family, like friends that's really like all. So really they don't have nothing to say. They just be like, when I come around, they be like, we play the game, we play it out like, yo, what's up? We act the same, and I play it out because I ain't putting nobody on the spot. But that's really what it is. What the fuck you calling me about going to help somebody, man, who ain't? Man, listen, I'm still living, and I know they wondering why. They would have been thought that I would have folded and came back to the same yoke. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it ain't go like that, right? So just keeping it real, and that's just one thing, man. That's like one thing. Like people be out here trying to think having the nerve to think that they can tell people to stop learning. They can tell people to stop evolving. Like, stop evolving, stop elevating. Like, you know what I'm saying? People really, you know what I mean? And they be like, and they'll be like on the tip, like trying to get you to stop elevating for nothing. For what? For fake love? For fake love? For no money? Like, ain't like my will come again, come hand you some money for some fake love and some fake friendship. You gonna just stop being like I'm cool with God. I'm at one. I'm at one, and I'm at peace with God. With Allah. Like, why would I give up what I have now to go back to fucking with these niggas? And I'm in my neighborhood. Ain't worrying about these niggas and what they think. You know what I mean? As soon as I turn my back, I already know what they talking about. It's, why? Family same way. So whatever. You know what I mean? Remain strong. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You elevating, stay elevated. You know, because I ain't going back. You know, that's why I like each time I experience something. You know, like me having to come back here. I knew it wasn't just for what I had to come back for. You know, I had to. I came back here for a couple of different things, and truthfully, damn, almost bust my ass. And truthfully, I know I had to come back and experience a couple of my people. You know what I'm saying? I had to come back and experience a couple of my people in a certain way. You know what I mean? To see like really what's up with them. So I already know, just like before, like I had to spend some time around a couple of my family members, on my journey. Like I was in a jam, and then I got to go over here with them for a minute, right? But then as I'm in there with them, I'm really putting a lot of pieces together. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, I almost took an L. You see me? Yeah, God go expose them all. But see, but that's another thing. Don't get mad. Because sometimes, even like you be like, man, I don't want to have to break down and have to go stay with my sister or stay with my mom or stay with my brother or my dad or something like that. No, sometimes, for real, Mustafa, what's up, Rock? Salam alaikum. That's my big bro for real. But sometimes, you know what I mean? God, Allah will have you in a situation where you got to go and be around your family members so that you can really start seeing how they is. So you can really keep the score legitimately. Like, a lot of them are like a lot of people in your family and your friend circle have always been against you. Period. Secretly hate you and all that, right? So I know that this me being back here at this particular point in time is a reason for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're gonna show you up. Yeah. So what I'm saying is every step you take, it's a reason behind it. You can, because every step you take, you can benefit from it, or you can go down. I choose to benefit from. I choose to, I already know. Like, I know what kind of person I am. So I know I be wondering, like, when God put me in a certain place, and I be like, I know, man, I love you too, Mustafa. Man, man, you already know. You know what I mean? But I know, like, I'm put in a certain situation to test these people anyway. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm here. He put me in there. I said, and then when I see somebody tripping and bugging, I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll be like, oh, all right, I see. And you know what? And I just keep maintaining myself and doing the right things and staying on code. You know what I'm saying? With having good character and doing the right things, keeping it real easy. See, that's another thing people got to get away from, and it's a real bad saying too. But people, they think, but it's really connected to the old ways. When people say I'm a match energy, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm matching. Yeah. I'm down the way. I'm on the Ave actually. Yeah, I'm sitting there on the Ave. You know what I mean? But like when people start talking about matching energy, man, why would you matching energy? Like, that's like somebody acting like a sucker you stealing or you being foul, and just because you being foul and you being stupid or whatever, I'm going to match your energy. You see how stupid that sounds? Why would I match your energy? No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go above your energy. I'm gonna vibrate higher than your energy. You coming through? I'm gonna hang out for a minute. You know what I mean? If you understand, you get what I'm saying. Because for real, if you vibrate, if you're on a high vibration, if you're on a high vibe, a lot of times the people or the queens that's corny, that's against you, they never come near you because y'all not operating in the same on the same vibration. Like if it's a low vibration that's backbiting you, trying to do you dirty and all that, that's on a low vibration. But you up here, you'll never see them people. They still may be talking and doing what they're doing or whatever on that level, but you never come across them because you vibrate too high to be in their reality. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you don't never match nobody energy unless they got high, unless it's high, unless they on some they on a high vibration. Other than that, man, I'll let people vibe low and I forget about them. You said they can't come around. Yeah, they would throw shade, but it will be with others. Yeah, so but you're not even living in a world. That's like when people start doing like other little secret arts. Like you got a lot of people out here doing secret arts and and hating and projecting and putting witchcraft on people by saying bad words on them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but guess what? Listen, what I'm saying. That the stuff can only affect you if you operating on a low vibe. Cause just imagine, like, let's say when you run around and you drinking and you doing drugs, and people is projecting and all that kind of shit and woo stuff right on you. Okay, it can hurt you at them times because you operating from a low vibration. But when you're on a high vibration, that shit it don't touch you. It might prick you a little bit. So some of that stuff might prick you a little bit, and you'll feel it. You'll know it's coming at you, but you'll be like, you can shake it off real easy. That's why when you know when you once you go on your true journey, meaning you all the way conscious of what the hell is going on. You know what happens? You know that this is why you can't drink. You know this is why you can't smoke. You know this is why you can't be up laying up with certain people because they whatever vibration they on that shit might bring you down. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So you know these things is the stuff that you gotta understand. You gotta know, and you can't protect. You can only protect yourself really through knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Really through knowledge. That's why, like when I be talking to people now, you just talking the same stuff. Yeah, and it's reality every day. Shoot, I'll be talking to people when they still be talking about like just doing some crazy stuff, like just sleeping with anybody and all that kind of shit. And it's cool. Like I'm attracted to women like that. But what I'm saying is, you can't be like that no more. Like that's if you really know. And then these people be having problems, like a lot of problems. Yeah, you know what I mean? People be just on the wrong stuff and they be wondering why they stressed out. They be wondering why they can't get nothing going in their life. And they dealing with the wrong people. Not just personal and like relationships. I'm just having the wrong friends, being around negative people. You know what I mean? One of the homies called me today trying to commiserate and and you know, talk a bunch of that moping around. I don't want to hear that shit, man. But I already know how this particular one is. Never call me. You gonna call me? Right. You gonna call me and say he called me. I was on a phone with one of my kids. I was on the phone with my son, so I couldn't answer. So then he texted me. He was like, he texted me. He's like, why you got a phone and you don't never answer the phone? So I texted him back. I said, that's a good question. Yeah, right. I'm just fucking with you, right? I'm like, yeah, that's a good question. But then I called him back because I was just interested in what he wanted for because he don't never call me, right? And he just asked me something. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about something, right? So I'm just saying, but like people be wanting to dump shit on you, man. That's another reason, man. I've been away from that, man. I don't answer the phone. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, yeah, good question. Why you don't answer your phone? I'm like, yeah, that's a good question. Why I don't answer my phone? And I gave him the thinking emoji, like, hey, man, come on, man. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear about your problems. I'm just saying, I help people with their problems because I'm a troubleshooter. That's what I do. I solve problems, right? And people that know me, that's what they know, right? It's giving. Let me call you back. Right, but what I'm saying is, you gotta if you know another part of knowing thyself. If you know thyself and you know the kind of person that you are, because some people is not necessary. Everybody's not a problem solver. Some people are just loving. Some people are generous. So people attach themselves to you in certain ways for them to benefit from it, from your energy, or from whatever kind of grace that you give the world or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know yourself. Knowing thyself is a big part of like how you gonna be able to keep yourself safe out here and be able to be in the right places at the right times with the right people. Hey, how you doing? Miss Yogi podcast. And that's just something, man. It's an everyday thing. It ain't just like for real, for real. Like I live my life a certain way every day. And we almost at one K, y'all. I appreciate if y'all can at least get my likes out. I need like 50 more likes to have 1,000. But it's an everyday thing. I don't take no days off. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no days off. Ain't no days off. Cause I don't care where you at. You can be all the way across the world. It's still the same. You still gotta stay on point for yourself. And at the same time, you gotta enjoy your life. But you just gotta do it in the right way. Yeah, cause really, I think no, the world is still going through a detoxification process. Or a separation. Thanks, Miss Yogi. Thanks, Miss Yogi. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. You know, the detoxification process that the world is going through is really like it's separating the people. You know what I mean? Like separating the people on this side from the people on this side. Like not saying it's a good or bad, but like you know what I mean? It's still going through that. So like for real, people that's they rap tight in their mind, they gotta stay to themselves until you can till you can find somebody, some friends or a mate that's on your level. Then because if not, for real, yeah, the world is separating. Yeah, this is a great separation. It is. But a part of the process of elevating is you knowing and understanding how to be by yourself and how to be with God. Because people, that's a big problem. A lot of us have, man. A lot of us been in stupid relationships and being in friendships with people and all that, being around negativity and all that shit. Because we didn't master ourselves to the point where though we can be by ourselves. So it's an ongoing process. You know what I mean? And you know, if it's meant, uh, if it's meant, a person, when it's meant for you to get for somebody that's on your level to come your way, and they gonna know you, and you gonna know them when they good for you, and it's gonna jump off. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But there's some good people out here that ain't ready for you, or some good people out here that you ain't ready for, right? So don't get it twisted. It go both ways, and but you gotta keep constantly working. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on doing the right thing. You know, and it'll all work itself out because it really always do. But we in a good time for real. You know what I'm saying? We definitely in a good time. You know what I mean? I ain't got no complaints. I'm really really happy, man. It's a countdown time for me until I go to my next episode is very very near. You know what I mean? But I just know that I gotta go through a few things. I gotta go through a few because for real, some of the stuff that I'm going through now. If you think I wasn't looking back before, you heard me? Like if you think that I wasn't, if you think that I wasn't looking back before, and I wasn't looking back, they wouldn't be seeing me right now if I wouldn't. If I didn't have something that I had to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm glad because I even went and I even broke down and went and seen a couple family members, you know what I mean? And guess what? And I really did that for me though, for my own self. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta do things for yourself too though. Because sometimes when you live when you live in a certain kind of life and you by yourself and sometimes you be wondering like I used to be like, damn, am I real? Like damn, like I be feeling like don't nobody love you, right? But guess what? That's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay because yeah, right. But I'll be thinking that, right? But it's cool. But what I'm saying, I know I had this something that I had to deal with in my life, and I had to get and I had to get over that thing, and I really had to just get with God. It's the bottom line. So this is what makes me like makes me strong right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about a person, family member or friend or whatever. If they don't, hey, I, I'm just saying this is what it is because, like I said, I outlived a couple things. You know what I mean? So I know what time people coming from. Like, so I don't even sweat it. You don't want to deal with me? That's fine. Stay over there. You know what I'm saying? But they always try to get upset when you don't want to come their way. But this some of the things that we got to deal with on our way up. You know what I mean? And you know, cause man, look, we've been through, especially us that been living for a little while. If you've been around. Like I ain't no young kid. Like I'm way past the stage of like I'm feeling some stress, so I want to drink a beer, smoke. It's like nah, like you know what I'm saying? It's stupid. I laugh at it because there was a time in my life when I did fall into that kind of thing. I'm talking about over years and years and years and years and years. Right? I'm in my 50s. So I done been a bad boy. I done been a good boy. I've been a married man with kids. And I've been a single. I've been everything, right? But if you don't live, you don't learn. You gotta learn. And most people don't learn we learn from experience, man. We don't really learn too much from, just like somebody could listen to me talking and maybe learn one thing. It may not even implement it. But let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, that's just, for a young guy, they'd be like, damn, I remember it was talking about a particular thing. And then maybe like, no, now I see what he's saying. But, you know what I mean? You gotta live to learn. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot of hard lessons. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? You know what I mean? So, and I just take heed to everything. You know what I mean? I'm staying dialed in. You know, but I don't know. It's getting cold out here. I'm starting to cough. It is it's getting chilly. I don't know. I think I'm ready to drink. When I go in there, I'm gonna drink me some tea. Yeah, eat some fruit. I got some fruit now. I'm gonna eat these oranges. I don't feel like I'm getting sick though, but just coughing a little bit. You know. But thanks. I appreciate y'all. I got 1.2 likes. My earpiece ready to die. That joint like doo doo. You see it beeping. Hold up. Plus, I'm going to the store. I'm gonna go in the store. I gotta get some water. I ain't got no water in the spot. I'm gonna get some water. Need something to drink. Yeah, but I gotta. You gotta stay sharp when you're going in the store. I am in the hood, and I'm in the hood near you. Definitely in the hood near you. It's my hood. Well, guess what? For real, for real. I ain't worried about shit. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me out here. Shit. Yeah. No, they just did. I must have been on. I've been on for an hour. Yeah, I've been on for an hour. That was cool. I took like an hour walk. That was a nice little walk.
You know what I mean? But I'm gonna dial out, y'all. Thanks, Miss Lady T. I appreciate y'all. I might jump back on in a few. Yeah, I might jump back on. It's 10. It's morning time over in Vietnam. It's 10:45 at night. Yeah, it's 10:45 out here. And it's crazy. There ain't nothing going on out here. Only thing open is this damn cigarette store. Fucking hood shit. I can't wait till I'm out of here. But no, God bless y'all. I appreciate you coming in, spending some time with me. And I see y'all soon. All right, peace, y'all.